got 10 Am I the Devil Reddit stories for you guys today. You guys absolutely ate that up in my previous video, so we are back here again with the worst people on Reddit. Starting it off hot with, am I the a-hole for causing a scene when my sister stole my pregnancy announcement? Don't know how that happens, but I'm very curious to see how. Oh my god, wait, I didn't even see the title. She slept with the sister's fiance. This sounds like an absolute banger to start it off with, but stick around for 9 more jaw-dropping Am I the Devil stories, such as, am I the a-hole for calling the cops on my fiance's sister, as well as the story we're gonna end on, which is, am I the a-hole for suggesting my partner use a mini fridge for breast milk instead of storing it in our main fridge? All right, chat, you know the drill. Let's lock in here. Am I the a-hole for causing a scene when my sister stole my pregnancy announcement? My sister Lila, 28 female, and I, 34 female, are both the children of a single mother. Growing up, I was always closer to our mother since we were closer in age and had similar interests. I was also very quiet and well-behaved while my sister was wild. We grew up in the sheltered suburbs, so her behavior wasn't nearly at the level of a lot of kids generally, but it was a point of stress for my mom. Many moons ago, my sister and my ex-boyfriend started a relationship. I was all right with it since he was my ex-boyfriend in high school. I made a mistake after she got engaged to him, and I'm not justifying this, but when my ex and I had a moment, I gave in and slept with him. I immediately regretted it and told my mom the morning of, crying. She was upset at me, but understood, and when she tried to console my sister, Lil blew up at her and said that my mom was taking my side instead of hers, and was mad that my mom consoled me or whatever. She didn't talk to my mom for a long time after that. I mean, yeah, bro. I would also be mad, chat. Oh, you know, I just kind of, sort of, you know, slept with her fiance, but she's overreacting. Like, okay. We knew this was gonna hurt. We knew this was gonna hurt, chat. Every time I do one of these videos, I'm like, I know it's gonna hurt, but every time it hurts, I'm like, oh. Lila is pretty happy now. She's got her life together and earns good money. Her husband is rich and she has this cute baby girl. My mom dotes on the baby, and ever since, Lila has made up with her, takes Lila's side on everything because she's scared of losing her. I recently found out that I'm pregnant. I currently don't have a job and I'm living with my best friend. The baby's father will not be in the picture. After the shit show that was this year, this child is a blessing for me and I'm really happy and couldn't wait to tell my mom. I mean, this child might be a blessing for you, but low-key, I don't think this is a blessing for that child. I do not want OP to be my parent. A boo-boo my ass, bro. I love how she's like, oh, you know, she just takes Lila's side on everything. Because she should have up here. Don't you just hate when your mom, like, becomes a better mom? Ugh. Yesterday, we were meeting for a picnic in the park, and I was really excited to make my announcement. I had made cupcakes with blue and pink frosting for everyone. Before I could tell anyone, my sister let everyone know that she's pregnant also. She's 5 months along and knows the gender. Everyone was so elated and I was a bit hurt, but decided to make my announcement as well and revealed my cupcakes. My mom was silent when I told everyone, and when I prodded her, she said that she was worried for me since I don't have a job and she doesn't know how I'm gonna survive raising this baby by myself. I started crying and told her that of course she's going to criticize me and compliment my sister and that the favoritism is starting to show. It really hurt me. Oh no, your mom was just being realistic and saying having no job but having a baby without a father in the picture isn't a good idea. Oh man, she's just the worst mom I've ever heard of. Like, my mom got hurt and said it wasn't her intention, and then my stepdad spoke up and said that she was right, and it isn't about favoritism since my sister has got everything figured out, and that he doesn't know if I'm capable of raising my child by myself. I yelled at all of them for underestimating me, and that just because I don't have some fancy job doesn't mean I can't raise my baby. I left in a huff. My dad later called me and said that he's sorry if my feelings were hurt, but that I really ruined the mood of the picnic by asking my mom of her thoughts and ruined my sister's announcement as well as mine. I don't think I'm the a-hole, and I just want to prove it to them. Am I the a-hole? That really is a devil of a human. I feel bad for her family. I feel bad for that future baby. Oh, her relationship with her family is busted and kind of makes her the a-hole. I also just think it's not the right move to have a kid when you don't have a job. I think that is just irresponsible and unfair to that child that you're about to bring in the world. I know sometimes things happen and that's just the way it goes, but like, if you're pro-choice, I think the right move is to not have that kid. My father Her ruined us. How can I make her stay? We got a 40 male OP, and the her is his girlfriend, who is a 34 female. My girlfriend has given me an ultimatum. Move my ill father into professional care, rebuild our finances, and create a future together ASAP, or she's leaving. But she believes it's already too late to fix everything before she turns 35. I suggested moving to a cheaper place, but she also refuses to leave Los Angeles, as it would mean sacrificing her career she worked really hard for. 5 years ago, my girlfriend and I moved in together in Los Angeles, and everything was great. Until my father, 78 male, from New York, unexpectedly moved in with us right before the pandemic. He has severe health issues, spinal injury, prostate cancer, dementia, and OCD. And I couldn't bring myself to send him away to strangers because he has never been away from family. Caring for him has consumed my life and finances, and it's taken a toll on my girlfriend's mental health. She was incredible in the beginning, kind, caring, and an amazing cook. She also had extensive knowledge about elder care and the nutrition needed for both my father and me. But being exposed to the constant stress, last-minute emergencies, and me yelling at my father in a foreign language has ruined her peace. We can't travel without paying extra for a caregiver and worrying about him, and she always gets depressed returning to our apartment knowing what awaits us. I tried to convince my father to live with my sisters, but he refused to, and they also didn't want him. It's so not fair. The only way to ease my girlfriend's burden was by moving us to a larger, more expensive apartment to create some distance between my father and her. But the stress hasn't gone away. Over time, she's developed resentment and has started verbally attacking me over my family's failures. Recently, she told me she's terrified of turning 35 and blames my father for ruining her chance to get married and have kids. She began asking about my finances and became angry and depressed after learning the full extent of my financial situation. Our finances. Her, 34 female, earns $110K at a demanding but fulfilling on-site job, has $150K in retirement savings and $100K in cash. She pays a third of the rent and groceries. Me, earn $165,000 remotely, but only have $50,000 in retirement savings and $20,000 in cash. I pay 2/3 of our expenses, including all of my father's medical bills. My father has $400,000 from selling his house, but I haven't touched it because he might owe back taxes, and I wanted to save it as a last resort if he has to enter a nursing home that costs $10,000 per month. Chat, someone might have to educate me here, but if you owe back taxes, you could very easily find out, right? Like, you just have to hire a good accountant or you have to reach out to the IRS, but like, this seems like a dumb excuse to me. If you've had him in your house for 5 years and he owes back taxes, you would have heard about it. Especially if he just sold the house and got like a $400,000 bag, I'm pretty sure they would come collect. She's urged me for years to apply for Medi-Cal, claim tax breaks, invest the $400K, or use that money to buy a house for ourselves. But I've neglected all these steps. She even pushed me to consult with lawyers, social workers, and nursing homes, but I could never follow through, and everything just fell apart. She says my inaction over the past 5 years and my lack of financial literacy have been deeply disappointing. She also thought I was in a better financial position than her, at least when it came to retirement savings. I mean, she's kind of fucking cooking, man. So you're intentionally making your financial situation worse on purpose because for some reason you don't want to like take the steps to figure it out? Yeah, I too would not be happy about that. Where things stand now, this year has been especially hard. My father's health has worsened, requiring even more constant care. He needs assistance almost every hour to go to the bathroom and makes a mess. We've hired a caregiver for $4,000 a month, but his $3,000 pension only partially covers the cost. So I do most of the caretaking. I'm exhausted from managing his care, my T1D, work, and household chores. Chat, if you know what T1D means, can someone throw that in chat? I deadass have zero clue what that means. Type 1 diabetes. Thank you, Prismatic Ranch. I haven't had a proper sleep in months, which is worsening my mental health and eroding the last bit of empathy my girlfriend has left for me. I love my girlfriend and want to marry her, but I feel like her expectation is too high and overreacting because her birthday is right around the corner. How do I calm her down? There are millions of people in worse situations than us, but she's so angry at me for not doing enough and not having enough. I don't even know where to start. I'm drowning under the weight of my responsibilities and can't meet all her expectations. How do I use the $400K, plan for a house in LA where the average is 1.2 mil, and still care for my father? What can I do to make her stay? How do I fix my life before it's too late? Okay, I didn't even realize this one has an update to it. Do I think OP is completely out of the wrong? No. I have a really hard time saying he's the devil because he has been dealt an absolute shit hand, especially after having T1D clarify that that's type 1 diabetes. Like, bro's got a lot on his plate. I can't sit here and pretend like I can relate to this guy because I can't. This man is living through his own personal hell, and it's very hard for me to call him the devil. Are there things he could do better? Yes, but I also think he's like treading water right now. And in his mind, his girlfriend's asking him to like build a boat and go 60 miles an hour, which isn't impossible, I don't think. And I do think if OP really wants to stay with his girlfriend, he needs to figure out how to make that happen. But I kind of want, and this is where you guys might fucking flame me, I kind of want to turn this on the girlfriend a little bit. Some ultimatums are needed. That being said, I think she either needs to choose whether or not she's going to leave or she's willing to like stick with OP and help him with this stuff. How long have they been dating, chat? Okay, they moved in together 5 years ago, which probably means they've been at least dating for 6 or 7 years. In my opinion, at that point, you guys should be operating as a unit. What he does, you do, and vice versa. Low key, chat, all the things she wants OP to do, I also think that's a little bit on her to like help him make that happen. Like, they need to dedicate time together to sit down and find the solutions to their problems, because that's what you do when you're in a relationship. And that's what you will do when you guys move on and get married together. I want to be clear, chat. I understand her frustrations. I definitely sympathize with them. This is like a weird, like, everyone sucks here, but then also like no a-holes here. Honestly, chat, I think the biggest a-holes, I think the biggest devils are the sisters. Assuming that they have a good relationship with OP and the dad, how are you just gonna be like, nah, bro, this is your problem with your parent? If this is my parents, like, me and my siblings are in that shit together. Like, that is equal responsibility. Everybody chips in and figures it out. We do have an update for the story. Thank you for all your voices. It really helps me realize the damage I've done. My father ruined us. Those are actually my girlfriend's words, not mine. She has developed a deep hatred for my father and, to some extent, for me. Lately, she's been verbally attacking me almost every day. I feel incredibly guilty and sorry for the bad decisions I've made. I've tried nearly everything to comfort her. I've always gone out of my way to make her feel special, celebrating important days, giving her favorite gifts, taking her out to dinner, and handling all the chores. I even took on the full-time responsibility of caring for my father to create boundaries for her. I barely leave our apartment, managing both a full-time job and all the chores, except for occasional grocery trips. I'm the youngest in my family and the only son. Growing up, I never learned how to be financially independent or how to prepare for the future. All I really learned was how to be nice to people. My mom left my dad at the age of 70 to live with my sister, and I lost my older sister to cancer last year. I couldn't bear the thought of losing my father too, especially when he was in such poor health. Initially, he was given only a few months to live, but with my care and effort, his condition has improved significantly. As a result, he is no longer eligible for hospice care and has even encouraged me to use his funds to start a new life with my girlfriend. Recently, I opened a high-yield savings account to transfer his funds. I also took a day off to start applying for benefits, but I'm unsure where to begin since he only has a New York driver's license and no other documents. How long would it take to get everything in order? However, my girlfriend has been feeling depressed again, especially after watching videos of other people who seem to be doing better than us. Yesterday, she suddenly started crying and refused to even look at me. She worked all night and began mumbling things like, "There's no hope," and "We'll never catch up." It hurts so much to see her like this, and I'm really worried about her. I keep telling her I can work more and make more money to catch up, but she is being pessimistic and negative. I don't know what to do to make her feel better. I need more time and money to resolve all my problems. I can't sit here and tell the girlfriend that she can't feel like this because I think her feelings here are very valid. I don't think it's healthy to compare yourself to other people, don't get me wrong, but I could totally understand the like midlife crisis of like, oh my God, what are we doing here? How do we dig ourselves out of this hole right now? That being said, I think her attitude and her mindset about it isn't productive to helping them get out of that hole. Either OP or the girlfriend just needs to end this. If I was OP, I would go up to the girlfriend, let her know, hey, you know what? Everything you've done is beyond what a girlfriend could do and more. I think with your current mindset, it does not make sense for this relationship to continue because it's just not productive. I would love to keep the door open for like, once we have this shit figured out, but like you being pessimistic, negative, mumbling these things under your breath. If anything, it's probably just making OP more depressed, more sad. If we want a chance to salvage this shit, unless you're going to like change your attitude about it, which I doubt, and I also don't think he should expect her to change her attitude because what she's feeling is very, very valid. But I think it's not productive and they just need to cut it off now if there is any hope that they could maybe make something work in the future. Yeah, she's spiraling for real. That's a great way to put it, Manu. She is spiraling. Which spiral? Merited. Going to help move this relationship along? I don't think so. Man, I feel like this one just kind of made me sad. I'm glad you guys agreed with me. Like, I don't really think there's a devil here. I just think it's like a damn situation. Am I the a-hole for telling my fiance's friend that we aren't friends and to leave me alone? So on December 1st, my fiance's friend, I don't know which one, hosted a holiday get-together that I immediately did not want to go to, but kept it to myself because I know how much my fiance loves her girlfriends. I do not have a problem with her girlfriends. It's their partners that piss me off. I mean, this is kind of a red flag here. Like, base level caring about your partner, you gotta care about their friends. Just even a smidgen. You should know which one's house you're going to. For background, each of them have tried to connect with me or befriend me over the years, and each time I've shot them down as bluntly as possible. I have my own group of friends and I don't want more. I smile and keep everything surface level in person because I know my fiance loves get-togethers. Okay, so you're an asshole. You just don't want to integrate with your fiance's friends and their partners, which is kind of just expected when you get a fiance. Not even just a fiance, but like a girlfriend. I think it's bare minimum when you're dating someone, you should be able to get along with their friends and their friends' partners. At least be amicable. You don't have to like fucking suck their dick or anything. Just hang out, chat, ask them about work. It's so easy. I don't get it. On the first night we all met, we all exchanged numbers, and once they each tried to text me or call me, I blocked them. They added me on Snapchat and added me to their group chat. I again blocked all of them and left the group chat. They added me to a group chat on Instagram. Okay, wait, hold on. Don't get me wrong. OP's a complete asshat, but like, come on, you guys are trying too hard. After the second block, like, you should be able to put it together, dog. They need to pick up what OP's putting down. They added me to a group chat on Instagram, again, blocked them all and left the group chat. Twitter, X, blocked. Facebook, blocked. Emails, blocked. Even here on Reddit, they're all blocked. They invite me to their boys' nights through my fiance, and I respond with a stern fuck no every time. Bro is acting like this friend group murdered his family. They just want to integrate you because you're probably going to be around a lot. Oh no, aren't these guys the worst? So at the get together, the 8 of us, me plus 7 partners, are sat in the living room while the ladies cooked and talked. They were in their own conversation about the election and football and whatever, and I was just smiling and nodding. One of them makes a joke about me being quiet. I try and laugh it off, but he kept pressing it. So I left and hid in the bathroom until the food was ready. During the dinner, the partners kept digging into me as usual, trying to get me to open up, asking me about my work and my hobbies and my proposal story and wedding plans. I gave the same surface level answers as always, but for some reason they weren't having it. And then everyone except my fiance started yelling at me for some reason, saying that I'm such a prick and what's wrong with me, and that I acted like I'm better than them. So I obviously yelled back at them. The SparkNotes version is, I don't know them and I don't want to get to know them. Leave me the F alone. I don't know any of your names. I don't care to know your names. Friends-in-law isn't a thing. And that just because our partners are friends doesn't make us friends. Using my forearm to make a line. This is the line. Stop trying to cross the line. Stop approaching the line. Back the F away from the line. Everyone stay arm's length away from me. Then I threw the car keys on the table and took a lift home. When my fiance came home the following morning, she looked like she had been crying. I've never seen my fiance so angry or disappointed and sad. I tried apologizing to her, but she called her dad to help get her stuff from our place, and I have no clue where she's staying. My calls go to voicemail. My texts are on delivered. I mean, as they should be. Listen, chat, I don't know how y'all feel about your partner's friends, but you should at least be able to interact, have conversations with, and be liked by those friends. You do not want to be the friend that isn't liked by your partner's friend group or by your partner's friend group's partners. Yeah, that made sense, right, chat? Bro didn't even say they did anything. He just decided he has enough friends. Exactly. Like, if they had wronged him, yeah, bro, sure, give him the middle finger. They're just trying to be friends with you, dude. It's not like they're holding a gun to your head. So are they still together? I mean, we could check real quick. Oh, mini update. My fiance saw the post. I'm not the most popular guy in Reddit, so I won't even bother making any updates on the subreddit. But if anyone cares, my fiance saw the post. Screenshot the reply where I highlighted why I love her and said, love you too, my pet name, heart emoji. Decided to just send a heart back and give her space like the replies told me to. Top comment. I hope she dumps you. Guy, seems to be the consensus. I mean, that's crazy, bro. Me personally don't want to be with someone like this, but if this does it for the fiance, who are we to sit here and not let her live in that personal hell? Am I the a-hole for staging an intervention? Me, 20 female, and my friend, 20 female, Bobby. We're in the same friend group all through high school. We all got into a uni in our city. All of our friend groups stayed good friends, except Bobby. We noticed some changes in Bobby's behavior at the start of the first semester. But after she started dating her boyfriend, 21 male, her behavior did a complete 180. She lost a bunch of weight, started exercising and eating weird stuff, got into a ton of new hobbies, started a job, etc. She turned into an extrovert and suddenly didn't have as much time for us. She stopped using most of her social media and only talked about wanting to travel and buy a house. It was crazy. It was as if she was a new person. So she's finding out things in life that she wants to do and isn't interested in. Though we tried to support her and show her that we were there throughout this, she only distanced herself more and more and was basically only spending time with her boyfriend or her new friends. When we invited her to group things, she would come but be kind of checked out and unenthusiastic the entire time. She comes to birthday parties but stays an hour, gives us the gift, and then goes. We planned a week-long group trip to celebrate the end of the semester, and she just texted that she already had plans with other people and would not be able to go. After more than a year of this, we decided that we had enough. I read that sometimes abusive relationships can make a person drastically change their behavior, and since it happened after she started dating this new guy, I thought it may be related. So we staged an intervention about how her relationship was changing her as a person and harming her friendships. We invited her to have lunch together, and then when she got there, one of our friends brought it up that we were really worried about her and her relationship, that she had completely turned into another person and was distancing herself from us. Then we suggested some resources and said that we were always there to help. She did not take it well. She got super mad, said that she is the happiest she's ever been, that it was the first time in her life that she actually liked herself, that she was completely miserable throughout high school, and that if we did not recognize that, then we were bad friends. When we tried to argue, she just rolled her eyes, got up, and told us not to speak about her relationship like that ever again. I'm confused. We were pretty much always together during high school, and she definitely was not completely miserable. She was a normal girl. The only thing I can think about is that sometimes other people would be mean to her, but we never did that, and she never seemed bothered by it. My other friend suggested that victims of abusive relationships sometimes deny their situation, so maybe that's it. Am I the a-hole here for being worried and staging an intervention? She's pretty mad at us, and none of her other friends at uni will talk to us. Her boyfriend never liked us anyway, so obviously he's mad too. I mean, he probably doesn't like you because you guys sound low-key fucking toxic. Chat, I know this friend group's toxic because it's like, she started a job. Oh no, God forbid she have some responsibility and want to make some money, put herself out into the real world. Chat, this story's kind of crazy, and I hope they never see this because I have no beef with them. But low-key, chat, I kind of relate to this story. I had a friend group in high school that I fell out with pretty quickly after I went to college because I quickly realized their dynamic was low-key toxic as fuck. Not low-key, high-key toxic as fuck. And then I went to college and I met some real friends and I did things that I liked and I joined clubs that I liked and I stopped talking to them as much, and then eventually one day they just kicked me out of the group chat, which at the time I was butthurt about. Now looking back at that as an adult, one of the best things that happened to me. My friends were upset that like I went to college and had a great time and that they went to college and they were miserable and they wanted me to be miserable with them. That sounds like this friend group. Am I the a-hole for calling the cops on my fiance's sister? This happened a long time ago, but I feel like my fiance's sister isn't over it since she never talks to me, and when we all play games together or go to family events, I get ignored by everyone except my fiance. I am not able to explain all the reasons why I believe she doesn't like me due to the character limits, but I believe the main one is that I called the cops on her. I tried to create a good relationship before this whole incident. Here's some things she has done to why I don't want her on my property. She has threatened me before. She called the cops on me while I was living with her dad, and my fiance because she didn't want me there when my fiance wasn't there. She does drugs and has destroyed other people's property, slashing people's tires. She yelled at me and my fiance when we tried to help or communicate to her. And she has complete disregard of others. There's other petty, smaller things she has done as well, all of which is in the comments. Okay, I'm not seeing the devil yet, but I'm ready to get slapped in the face. Here's the story where I called the cops on her. Last February, me and my fiance were living at my house and he ended up breaking up with me. He left the house, went to his sister's, and ignored me. I ended up leaving the house to go for a drive, and I received a text message from him saying, "Me and my sister are coming to grab my stuff." Prior to this, she didn't know where I lived, and I liked it that way due to all the stuff that happened in the past, and I didn't feel comfortable with someone knowing where I live when they hate me. I texted him right back and said, you can get your stuff and move it all by yourself, which you have done in the past when we moved your stuff to my house. And I followed that up with, if she comes, I will call the cops. And if you really need help, ask your friend, your mom, or your dad. I turned around heading back to the house and they were there. His sister was parked on the road by my house and he was in the driveway. Under Florida residency law, my fiance was still considered a guest, not a legal resident, since he did not pay any rent, bills, or necessities. I warned him and her prior that if she was on my property that I would call the cops, which is exactly what I did. I told her that if she didn't leave that I would call the cops and she refused, so I called them. She even tried to enter my house. No cops showed up and nothing happened legally. Anyways, yes, we were toxic then and I'll admit I had a lot of flaws. We are now really good. We are living together and happy. I made sacrifices and so did he to fix this relationship, and now me and him are the happiest. But since holidays are coming up, I've been ignored by his sister during Thanksgiving and while playing games online. I don't know what to do, and me and my fiance think I don't deserve this since I have tried to redeem myself and show that I'm willing to be friends with his sister. I also want to say that me and him agreed she wasn't allowed over or to even know my address before he moved in. All right, chat, here's where you guys might regret donating to me. I don't understand why we're considering OP the devil. Are they in a toxic as fuck relationship that they should probably get out of based off of me just reading and filling in gaps that maybe they didn't talk about? Yeah. Low key though, this paragraph, I also wouldn't want her in my house. Let's go through this track record one more time. She's threatened OP. She's called the cops on OP because she didn't want OP there when the fiance wasn't there. She does drugs and has destroyed other people's property, including slashing people's tires. She's clearly not good at communication, and apparently there's other things that they're not including. Like, chat, am I the devil? I wouldn't want her in my house either. I too would call the cops. I don't see why OP would be the a-hole. Me neither. Yeah, that's valid. Okay, all right. I'm so glad you guys are on my page here because I am what? It sounds like there's something missing, Mooney. I wouldn't be surprised. But off the information we were given, I'm not seeing the devil. All around though, sounds like Florida. When she said that she lives in Florida, I was like, oh, okay. All right, this makes sense. Check the comments. Okay, you know what, Sakura? Which, by the way, welcome to the stream. That's a great point. We should do that. Okay, so they labeled him the asshole on the post. You're the a-hole. At that point in time, that was still his residence, and his sister is sure as hell allowed over. You gave zero reason for not wanting her over, other than you wanted to make things harder for him. Newsflash, she broke up with you. You're toxic as fuck. You gave zero reason for not wanting her over. Yes, she did. She absolutely gave the reasons. Also, the fiance prior agreed to not having the sister in the house. Listen, do I think you should be dating someone where their sister is not allowed in your house, but you still keep in contact with her? No, but I think this is such a fucking bad take. Wow, this is so heavily you're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. What? Are we losing our fucking minds over here? Chat, are we delusional? Okay, hold on. Maybe this is important. OOP chose a chapter from the middle of the story to share, so this must be the interaction that she thinks shows her in the most favorable light. It's almost cruel to us to not share the previous incidents that inspired her to set a hard rule that the sister can't come onto the property. And then the poster for Am I the Devil put, I don't even know where this is coming from. Maybe this is coming from the comments of the original post. She was very disrespectful towards me and my relationship, constantly talking behind my back, telling my fiance to leave me, even if it was over a small thing, and would intentionally not invite me or make sure that I wasn't coming to certain things just so she could talk bad about me to her family and my fiance, to the point where he would leave family events because she had no respect. She knew I was pregnant and at a high risk for a miscarriage when we went on a trip, and I told her that I would like the room to have the AC on and that I would give her my blanket if she gets cold. When we were in the hotel, she chose the bed closer to the AC and refused a blanket or to switch beds or anything else to help her get more warm in the room, and got mad when I told her that I can't handle the heat in the room and that I was being very cautious with the baby. There's other more petty stuff like her joining up and working out in the basement and giving me dirty looks the whole time, and then telling my fiance I wasn't doing anything right and asking why I was even joining in. My fiance said if she was going to criticize me, then she didn't have to join, and she started crying, and I tried to talk to her and said that I would like to still join him, but if she wants to work out with just him, then just let me know and I won't join. And she got very mad and said that she wasn't going to join anymore because she's unwanted and losing her brother. I mean, listen, does OP sound like an angel? No, I still think this sister sucks and low-key weird as fuck. I mean, we've heard of the mother-in-laws that want their son to treat them like they're married to them, but this is like a sister who's like jealous that her brother is dating someone and not giving all of her attention to her. Chad, am I going fucking crazy? I kind of see it. Like, I kind of understand where OP's coming from. Although, Chad, I do have to say, and maybe someone will have to enlighten me. What is this thing with the AC? I understand, like, if you get too hot, maybe that would be bad for the baby. But like, is the AC really gonna like make or break that shit? Being pregnant in the heat is miserable. Thank you. Sammy is our resident. Sammy's like a mom of 3 children. Maybe we're wrong, chat. All 60 of us. All right, I'm gonna go get my baby boy. It's the boy. It's the handsome man. Chat, I'm gonna switch mics. Can you guys please, please, please help me remember to switch to my other mic before I start reading again? We'll let you go, but we gotta give you some treats. My sweet baby boy. Oh, hi. Yeah. Oh, you're just such a sweet guy. We're gonna pet him. We're gonna pet him. We're gonna pet the pretty boy. You're just so handsome. You're just so handsome. You earned some treats. Look at that. Oh beans. We're fattening you up this winter. Let me pivot you. Woo, boink. Bro said, hey, yo, fuck your treats. Look, right there. There's so many treats for you. Oh, yeah, there we go. Actually, chat, I have an idea. Oh, that was a good one, chat. That was a good one. All right, chat. We got to keep going. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories to finish in this. All right, here we go. Am I the a-hole for not dressing in black tie for my girlfriend's Christmas party? I, 21 male, and my girlfriend, 22 female, have been dating for nearly a year now. She studies at a university in a different city to me, so we've been long distance for a significant part of our relationship. I finished uni last year, but she has 1 more year to go, so I am living at home and working 2 jobs while she finishes her studies. We obviously don't get to see each other very often, so when we do, it's a really special time. Last week, I was missing her a lot and decided to surprise her with a weekend visit. I booked a flight with just a small cabin bag to save on cost and packed only the essentials: t-shirt, underwear, and some small gifts I'd been collecting for her over the semester. I coordinated with her friend who loved the idea and told me about a Christmas soiree, a black tie party planned for the night I'd arrive. Here's where things went wrong. I didn't wear a tux to the party. After nearly a day of working and traveling, I just wanted to be comfortable and just didn't feel like dressing up fancy. So on my train from the airport, I put on a black dress shirt and a literal black tie as a funny nod to the theme while still being slightly more comfortable. He was almost so cute, chat. I'm gonna go surprise my girlfriend. It's been a while. I'm gonna coordinate it with her best friend. Oh, but I'm not gonna just go the extra 5 steps and get a tux and wear it. That'll make her night complete. Just this much. You were so close. When I arrived, my friend let me in and my girlfriend seemed happy to see me. She hugged me and asked why I was there, and I told her that me and her friend had hatched this plan for me to crash the party. She then got upset at her friend for not making sure I knew to dress up. I jumped in immediately and told her that I was told about the party, but decided not to dress up fancy because I was packing light and didn't want to have to be uncomfortable while traveling. Then she started to flip out on me. I tried to reassure her that it wasn't a big deal and it was just a party and no one cared that I wasn't dressed up. This made her even more mad and she accused me of invalidating her feelings and ruining her night by embarrassing her in front of all of her friends. I think I would have to know more about this party. Thank you for the follow, some smelly fishy. What a crazy time to follow. Me just face down on the floor. Oh, I have like... I have beans' litter on my forehead. Chat, I said it. I knew I would fucking forget to switch my mic. You know what, chat? I'm not gonna reread it. I apologize for the shitty mic quality, but you should be able to understand what I'm saying, which is the important part. And I'm just, you know what? I'm over it. What I was trying to say before I realized that I made the fucky wucky and forgot to turn on my mic. Unless this is like a gala huge event, I do think this reaction, and maybe I'm being an asshole here, but I think it's a little over dramatic. They're in college. I'm guessing this is just like a pregame before they go to the bar. That's what it is in my head. If somebody in college was like, I'm doing a black tie event, I would be like, okay, I'll get a little bit dressed up, but I'm not gonna rent a tux to go black out at the bars. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe she is throwing a gala. Either way though, I do not fuck with OP here trying to tell her this shouldn't be a big deal to you. She gets to choose how she feels about events. She gets to choose like, hey, this is important to me. You need to actually participate in it. It's one thing if you're just like, like a friend and you're like, I don't want to fucking rent a tux. But when you're her boyfriend, you should support her, especially if you know that it's important to her like that. This story and the last one aren't devils at all strange. Yeah, if anything, I would just say OP is just dumb. I tried to keep a level head during all this, but then she did something that tipped me over the edge. She took the flowers I had brought her, threw them on the floor, and stomped on them, completely trashing them. Admittedly, I lost it. I told her she was being a disrespectful a-hole for how she reacted, and that I had put so much time and effort in this trip, and that she was being crazy for expecting even more out of me. She argued that I was holding the effort I had put in over her, and that I dismissed her feelings by not putting in just a little more effort to dress appropriately. I told her she was being childish and immature over something so small, and she stormed out. Okay, dude, don't keep belittling this thing that's clearly important to her. Like, dumb idiot man brain right there. Her housemate told me it was probably best for me to leave, so I went to stay with my brother who also lives in her city. She hasn't spoken to me since, despite multiple attempts on my part to contact her. Maybe this is controversial, but I think this isn't everyone sucks here. Don't get me wrong, OP definitely made mistakes, but stomping on the flowers is crazy. Stomping on the flowers after he booked a flight to surprise you, like, I get it. He maybe didn't wear the correct thing to your party. Should you be mad at him maybe? Yeah, I think it was overkill though. Stomping on flowers is crazy. Like, that's disrespectful as fuck. I ruined my wife's life. So to start, me, male 26, and my wife, female 28, were happily married for 6 years, and I was the only one making decent money. 120 to 200,000, while she was a stay-at-home parent with our daughter, female 5. One day after coming back early, as my engine went out on the way to work and a friend dropped me off back at home, I caught her cheating while I was supposed to be out and our daughter was at preschool. After some yelling at my friend to get out, not the friend that dropped me off, and yelling at her, she started the crying and apologized, saying it was a mistake. I calmed myself down and went with the flow. I told her I need some time to think and left. A few days go by of her checking up on me at my mom's house, and she tells me she'll wait however long it takes for me to forgive her, and also says that we should do marriage counseling. I agree and tell her I think we can get through this, but really in my mind, I'm trying to figure out what to do next, and I'm already emotionally checked out from her. So a year goes by, but through this year, I've done a lot, like withdrawing the money from my bank. I have 2 accounts, one for myself and one for both of us, but she still knows about my separate one. I've also downgraded our house significantly. We used to have a 3,000 square foot house and the rent was about 3.4K, but I took us down to an apartment costing 1.1-ish. And I also forced her to get a job and to pay for the place/counseling. Anyways, after getting all my money out, I got my mom, who has Mexican citizenship, to let me use one of her houses in Mexico as an address line to open a bank/Binance account. And I dump all my money in there under her name and go get a lawyer. After everything is set up, I show up back home and lay down the divorce papers in front of my wife and tell her we're done. She starts with I thought we were doing well. And I told her we didn't cheat, you did. And I left back home with my mom until court day comes, and every day she's visiting while trying to convince/seduce me into coming home, but eventually the day comes. But before I go, I sell my car for what few thousand I can get and have my mom drop me off. A few things happened that really made matters a lot harder than I expected. For example, she knows that I have my own bank account separate from our joint, but I also knew she knew, so I obviously made that aware as to not get in trouble. But that introduced another problem. I made $200K a year. They knew this from my taxes, but I have only about $4,000 in my account from selling my car when I should have another $1 million in there. Anyways, the court pretty much demanded to know where the money went, and I told them that my girlfriend, not my wife, was an expensive girl, and that was that in terms of court. After my ex-wife doesn't believe that I have another girl, since I'm always with my daughter when I'm not working, so she tries to get a financial advisor, but he was going to charge around $20,000 to $30,000 depending on what he had to do. Now, believe it or not, but between the paying for the apartment, our daughter, and counseling, yeah, after she cheated, I pretty much used that as a get out of doing everything card. She didn't actually have enough money for one, so she took out a loan and borrowed from her parents to get one, which actually kind of scared me. But I guess he couldn't find anything, which really backfired, as now she has to raise a kid and pay for her own place/vehicle, etc. on a team lead salary. I'd assume around $22 an hour. As long as he's not fucking over the daughter, I don't see why he's the devil here. But based off this last sentence, I think he might be fucking over the daughter. I think he's planning on just dipping on the kid. But not all is well yet, as I was still ordered by the American court, foreshadowing, to pay her $7,400 a month out of the $12K I make due to alimony plus child support. And she tells me that's more than enough for her to live without me, and she can quit her job, and she's right, but not really, as I tell her that I swear on my life that she wouldn't get a penny out of me. And well, She didn't. I moved to Thai, which costed a bit more than $100,000 USD, but I could stay for 15 years on it, which I could probably make back in a year. Anyways, I call my ex and let her know I am not in America anymore and that she should really consider getting her job back. I wasn't trying to be cocky, and I know this is going to sound very hypocritical, but I didn't want my daughter to end up homeless. My ex, whoa. Okay, so he definitely dipped on the daughter, and he's like, oh, I don't want my daughter to end up homeless, so you should probably get a job, but I won't contribute. Chat, let's be real here. This wife is a fucking dickhead. Cheats on him and then is like, oh, I'm just gonna live off of your alimony. I'm just calling a spade here. The wife sucks, but OP sucks for abandoning his daughter. Like, the real victim of this story, chat, is the daughter. My ex-wife gets rightfully pissed and tells me she won't manage without me and starts begging on the phone saying how she changed for me and all that. After that, I'm getting call after call. Most are saying they'll miss me since I won't be able to come back because I'm wanted in America for child support. But some were obviously pissed off I had abandoned my wife and child. To them, I uploaded on my Facebook the picture of my wife with my friend that she was cheating on me with, which turns out he had a girlfriend as well, who called me asking why I didn't tell her sooner, to which I said I didn't even know she existed. That was 2 years ago, and as far as I've heard, my ex-wife is doing pretty terribly and had to give our daughter to her parents while paying them child support as they didn't even want to care for her. Her parents blame her for everything, which probably wouldn't be happening if I didn't often spend time with her dad. And after I found out my daughter was with them, which was a little over 4 months after I left her, I did start paying her mom $1,000 a week to help a bit. But I did also ask that they not tell my ex. I even get my sister to check up on them as I really don't want my ex getting a penny. Listen, bro, be as much of a dick as you want to your wife, but only be a dick to her if it doesn't fucking affect your daughter too. Oh, I am in pain, chat. That was painful to read, not only grammatically, but also just, oh. The wife is the devil. OP is the devil. This poor fucking daughter has the worst parents on planet Earth, straight out of Satan's asshole. Am I the a-hole for asking / taking money from my mom's friend's husband after my brother and his wife refused, and then now showing up to the next day's plans? I, 36 female, went out to eat with my mom, 68, my brother, his wife, and my mom's friend and her husband. After we were done eating, my mom's friend's husband offered my brother $80 for the meal, but my brother kept refusing, saying it wasn't that much. They playfully went back and forth, but he only accepted $40. When my brother walked away to pay, he tried to give his wife the rest of the $40, but she also refused a few times, saying it wouldn't be that much. He insisted she keep it, but she still said no. He looked at me, confused as to why no one would take the money, so I said, fine, give it to me, and I'll use it for tomorrow's dinner when all of us go out again. He was not joining. I see the solution, but it is a little slimy, low-key. He handed me $20 and my mom immediately scolded me, saying I needed to give it back. It went back and forth between us, and she told me I had no right to keep it since it was his money. I argued that he clearly wanted to give it away because he felt bad, so why not hold on to it and use it to help cover dinner tomorrow? After more back and forth, I finally gave it back to him, but he still refused to take it. I was frustrated and said, take it back so I'm not treated like crap all night. To be clear, I was joking when I said it, but I also felt like he genuinely wanted to pay for more, and since we were all going out again, it could help contribute to everyone's meal the next day. My mom was visibly shocked by what I said, and I was upset by being scolded. Because of that, I refused to join the group the next day for scheduled plans. Oh, I see. The title's supposed to say, and then not showing up to the next day's plans. Got it. Should you have maybe kept your mouth shut and saying fine, give it to me was probably a little unnecessary? Yes. Is this r/AmITheDevil worthy? I don't think so, chat. Am I on crack? I gotta look at chat for this. I don't get it. I honestly don't see the big deal, unnecessary at most. That's how I feel, Bambi. I don't think it's devil worthy. Could you have handled that better? Yes, but also your family could have handled that better. Clearly the guy wanted to give someone the $20 to $40. And honestly, OP's solution wasn't bad. It would have accomplished pretty much the same thing that the mother's friend's husband was going for. Chat, am I the devil not fucking cooking today? Last video, Am I the Devil cooked heavy, bro. Every story they hit with was a fucking banger. This one, mid. Am I the a-hole for farting when my coworker wouldn't go away? To start, I work in an office with a few other people. One of my coworkers is a woman in her mid-20s, and I think she is incompetent and annoying. This is shared by the other guy in the office. We had an assignment and we were split into teams, and I had the misfortune of being on hers, which she decided she wanted to be the boss of. A few days in, she was stood at the entrance of my office, practically interrogating me over the work, and I just wanted her to leave so I could get my work done. She wasn't taking the hint and was getting closer and talking about irrelevant things, so I leaned back in my chair and said, "I've been working on something else," and then I farted. I didn't intend for it to be so loud, and it really did stink. The look on her face was priceless though. She stood stunned with a horrified face before leaving. Now she hasn't bothered me for a few days, but she has told people in the office that I pulled her into my office just to fart in front of her. She's describing it as if I trapped her. Now other people in the office have started to make comments towards me, calling me names and such. I look at my chat and all I see is Party Hat Possum say weaponized flatulence. Party Possum, that's low-key funny as fuck. Netflix, give my homegirl Party Hat Possum a fucking contract for a Netflix special, because that shit is funny. That was a bar. In a corporate setting is crazy. There were so many different ways to handle that, man. Farting, not the one. Fart aside, you thinking that that was an appropriate way to get your coworker out of your office? I know she's quote-unquote slandering you right now. Like, maybe that's not exactly what happened, but you still deserve it, dog. Am I the a-hole for suggesting my partner use a mini fridge for breast milk instead of storing it in our main fridge? Before we finish up this last story, if you've gotten this far into the video, that probably means that you're enjoying it. And if that's the case, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future reading Reddit videos. I upload 2 a week. They're usually 40+ minutes and they go up every Monday and Thursday. On top of that, I have over 110 reading Reddit videos on my channel. So if you're looking for your daily dose of drama, head on over to my channel for hours and hours of reading Reddit stories just like this one. My partner and I have been discussing the topic of having kids and whether we want them. The topic of feeding came up and I suggested using formula. However, my partner mentioned that formula can be expensive and said she could pump breast milk and store the bottles in the fridge instead. I told her I wasn't comfortable with the idea of storing breast milk in the fridge next to our food. I feel like it's unhygienic and I don't want to open the fridge and see the bottles on the shelf. Instead, I suggested that we could buy a separate mini fridge specifically for her and the baby to store the milk. God, this breast milk is so fucking unhygienic. Let me go give it to my baby. What? What if, why man do dumb? Chat, I'm gonna be so real with you guys. This might be an overshare and I apologize. I low-key, I wanna know what breast milk tastes like. Don't do that to me, chat. I know you're judging me. Don't judge me through the camera like that. I just want to know. I just want to know. If I have a kid, I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, mama, let me taste that shit. Let me taste that good. Oh, okay, everyone's saying me too? All right, thank God, bro. If anything, that's the only milk we should be having, dog. Another excuse to suck on my girl's titties, say less. I said it and I mean that shit, chat. She wasn't happy with this idea and said it felt like I was unnecessarily creating a barrier. I don't think I'm being unreasonable, but I want to know, am I being the a-hole for suggesting this solution? Edit, unhygienic was probably the wrong word. I understand the milk itself isn't unhygienic, but being stored with the rest of our food would be. I personally don't want to open the fridge and see the bottles or bags of it. I think it would be off-putting. That you said the exact same stupid. Does bro think they clean like cow's milk with hand sanitizer before they give it to you? Like, this is what you get the ick from. This is when you look your husband dead in the eyes and go, holy shit, I shouldn't have married you. I am fine with nappies and baby vomit. It's just the idea of my partner's bodily fluids being stored next to our milk and eggs that freaks me out. Yeah, this guy definitely doesn't make his wife come. This is a guy who has never eaten pussy a day in his life. That wife doesn't know the bliss of an orgasm. This guy wipes himself with the towel before he wipes his wife. I would happily feed our baby formula, but my partner would like to try breastfeeding first and pump so that when it comes to night feeds or giving her boobs a break, I can help. I'm speechless. I have nothing to say. The man is manning. This man is basically a baby himself for real.